Alright everybody, today I've got a oil burning smell in my truck, and I found some oil leaking last time I did an oil change on it, so I'll show you what that looks like. Now we're under the truck on the passenger side here. This truck has 175,000 on it, and it hasn't leaked at all until recently. So we've got a little on the bell housing here. I noticed a little on this muffler, and this is what I'm smelling, and I'm afraid that this is going to catch on fire if it doesn't get addressed quickly. So as I look up in there, I can see a little bit of oil dripping on the passenger side manifold on the back, and it's kind of running down the head and dripping onto the converters here. I believe it's coming from the valve cover gasket. Now that I'm on the driver's side, this side has oil coming off of the driver's side exhaust manifold dripping down also. So both sides are leaking at the same time. Getting a little bit on the drive shaft here. So I'm going to get some brake clean and clean this all up, and then attack these valve cover gaskets. I'm going to start on this passenger side first because it looks a little easier to get to. So you have to push this clip in. This will just swing up and out of the way. Let's take the dipstick out. You dipstick! This top cover just simply pulls off. Each spark plug wire corresponds to the coil. Just take these off. They are right in order. So we're going to push up on this red tab. Pretty easy. Pulling this up, pushing in here, and it slides right off. So we're going to use a 90-degree pick back here. Pull that red tab up. Okay. That's all those now. Alright, so now we have just a series of 10mm bolts. I'm going to crack these all by hand to make sure they all come undone first. You might want to break one off down in there. One thing I was looking at was this fuel pressure line that comes in here. Wasn't sure how that was gonna come off, but it looks like it's gonna be flexible enough to just move it out of the way, so that's good. I'm just using the socket and the extension on this back one. Make this back one a little easier, I'm using a universal. So I'm really change the oil every 4,000 using Mobile 1 0W20. So I'm really curious to see what these valves look like. Let's get this guy off here. Alright, that's the only bolt that is shorter is on this dipstick tube. I am really happy with the way this head looks. Not one bit of sludge in here. And this is 175,000 miles. So here's our valve cover. I have not touched these. They're really clean. So it looks like it gets just a little bit pressed in back here, whereas the rest of these have a ridge everywhere. But right towards the back here, it's really flattened out, and I bet that's where it's leaking. Valve cover gaskets were only $20 at O'Reilly's. So this should be really straightforward. Take this out, just set it down just like we took it off. All right. It only took about 15 minutes to get this valve cover off on the driver's side. This feels much harder than the new one, which is really pliable also. Let's see if that'll stay in. Nope. What I might do is put a touch of silicone in there to hold it in. So give it another good squirt. Just going to use a very little bit of this to help hold the gasket in place, since it didn't stay when I turned it upside down. When I touch this side over here, there is a ridge all the way around, so this had flattened out on the old gasket. Alright, that's going to hold. Give this a quick wipe down. We have to make sure they go under this under the fuel pump line. Get one of these started. Loosely start each bolt by hand. About 3/4 threads on each one. Dipstick tube gets the shorter bolt. The rest of them are the same length. Now that they're all started by hand, I'm just going to snug them up, starting in the center and working out. Plug our coils back in. Plug wires. Back in more coils. Take this back off. Snap the breather back in. Dipstick. And oh, oil cap. That was probably about 45 minutes to do the one side. The other side, is going to be the exact same thing. Just had these heater hoses in the way, but those will move out of the way pretty easy. I'll time myself on this next one. It's 9:38. See how long it takes me to do the passenger side. $9:55. 18 minutes to get this one off. So one little thing I did was zip tie the heater hoses up out of my way, and the rest of it's pretty much like the other side. Got that bolt back there is a little bit of a hassle, but this side looks really clean too. Alright, second side is done. 10:19. So 40 minutes on that one, start to finish, not too bad. Here's one other little tip I have. Got a magnetic light. All this is plastic. I take a chunk of steel, set it down there, and that holds it really nice. Alright, so let's fire it up, make sure it doesn't leak. Alright, so I'll drive this around for a week and then take a peek underneath there, and we'll see if that did the job or not. You know what, let's do the Napa estimator and see what this would cost to have done at a shop too. I like doing that too, just out of curiosity. Okay, so the cost and time on this, the gaskets were 22, the brake clean was about 6, and the total time was 2 to 3 hours to do this job, so not too bad. Okay, so let's see what this would cost to have done at a shop. We're going to go on our Napa site here, the repair services, which has a repair estimator. Find our 2014 Silverado, come down here to powertrain, engine, and trans, and then scroll down to valve cover, gasket replacement. So you can see that it would cost anywhere from $167 to $433 to have this done at a shop, which cost me only $28 to do at home in a couple of hours. So I think it's well worth doing it yourself, saving a ton of money. All right, so thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.